Hi, welcome to the channel. We are going live now. Hi, my name is Kubeir. Welcome to the channel. And I hope all of you are rocking. All of you are absolutely practicing safe distance and keeping yourself safe. Today's video that we are going to talk about, or rather in today's video, what we're going to talk about is study in Canada and why that has become such an critical and crucial point in your journey for Canadian immigration, or if you are looking to become a permanent resident in Canada. As you all are already aware that, in the recent past, CRS scores for express entry have been, skyrocketing if it was earlier. And in the last year or so, obviously, there has been more importance being given to people who are inside Canada, studying in Canada, working in Canada, Canadian work experience, Canadian education. So all these factors obviously make you think if you do need to opt to study in Canada, if at all you are looking to become a permanent resident. So today's video is we're going to talk about that. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how do you choose your program, 1-year program, 2-year program? How does studying in Canada actually lead towards a pathway for Canadian immigration? Is it important that you study for 1 year or 2 years, or is it important that you choose a degree? Which province should you choose? What kind of program should you choose? And what would exactly be the pathway for your immigration program? So this is what we're going to talk about today. So if you are not following me on Instagram, then obviously that's for people on YouTube. Yeah, let's get started. So first things first, how does studying in Canada actually lead towards a pathway? First and foremost, whenever you're choosing to study in Canada, and this is, for example, in comparison with certain other countries who are also desirable, or rather, which are destination of choice when you're making this mind about, should I study in Canada? Should I study in Australia? Should I study in New Zealand? Should I study in the US? Whenever you are in your home country and then the choice comes to planning as to where you wish to study, there are several options. So if you go to one of the education consultants, you will be flooded with the amount of options given, and they will obviously try and sell you those colleges, those universities, those programs which give them commission or a better commission. So that's how it rolls. Yes. However, what is more important for you is, what do you want? So that is what you should have clarity first. If you are also looking for quality education plus, when I mean by plus means you want to get some work experience in that country, you want to sort of probably become a permanent resident, then that list narrows down, as in which are the more desirable countries where you will be able to do that. So Canada is one, Australia is one, New Zealand is one. Also then are England. Now England is also offering a work permit. How do you go about choosing then? The crux of the whole video today is Canada, and why you should be looking to study in Canada, because Canada, as has been made abundantly clear by the immigration minister, that we don't only want you to come to Canada to study, to work, we also want you to choose Canada as your home, to reside in Canada. That has been the mantra, that has been the slogan that they have been preaching. And that's what this is all about. In order to become a permanent resident in Canada, there are several immigration programs. I mean, to the last count, I think there are almost 100 different immigration programs that you could opt from. Most of you, if you're watching this from our Facebook groups, from our Instagram, you're already familiar with the express entry system. Express entry is not a program, it's a system, just a file management system. The programs are the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Canadian Experience Class Program, the Federal Skilled Trade Category Program. These are the programs. The situation there is that it's all a points-based program. Okay, so in order to be eligible in Federal Skilled Worker, you need to first score 67 points eligibility, and then you need to score CRS scores for your ranking score in the pool. Similarly, with Canadian Experience Class, you don't have any eligibility points to get through, but you still need to have at least 1 year work experience in Canada within the last 3 years. So the pathway is absolutely simple and straightforward. If you do choose to study in Canada, You will, depending on the college, depending on the program, you may, okay, not will, but you may be eligible to get additional CRS points, additional eligibility points for your express entry in the system, right? If you further then go on and have Canadian work experience, you are then eligible to get additional points for your CRS for the Canadian work experience. All right, so this basically is the crux. If that work experience within the last 3 years, then you also may be eligible for the Canadian experience class. And again, depending on which province you are studying, which province you choose to work in, there could be several doors that will open up for you through the provincial nominee program. So this very much is the pathway. Canada offers you this pathway to say, okay, if you're going to come to Canada to study and work, you may as well, make it your home. It's a bit of a contrast. And the reason why I'm saying it's a bit of a contrast is because when they are assessing you for your study permit application, the assessment criteria is that you should go back to your home country. Okay, that is what sternly the visa officer is looking at, that how are you showing us that you will be returning back to your home country? But on the other hand, because you have studied in Canada, because you have work experience in Canada, they're actually giving you additional advantage benefit. They're encouraging you to now apply for permanent residence. Is it going to be 1 year program, or is it going to be 2 year program? Is it going to be a diploma? Is it going to be a degree? What should you choose? Obviously, the education is expensive. On an average, you can say 14,000 Canadian dollars to 20,000 Canadian dollars is what you would look to pay for 1 year of your tuition fee to study in Canada. Add to that the cost of living expenses. I would more or less put it to 15,000. And if you have a family, then probably in that range. So you're looking at roughly 30 to 35,000 Canadian dollars per year as your expense. So first thing that you need to decide is this worth it? I mean, do you want to put this money towards your goal, towards your objective, towards your dream? If you want to come and study in Canada and lead that towards PR, are you willing to spend this money? That is what you have to first make up your mind about. First and foremost, choose the correct college. Correct college means that not all colleges are same. There are private colleges, there are public institutions, there are universities. Choose the right institution. Most importantly, choose DLI. DLI stands for Designated Learning Institution. You go to the CIC website, type Google DLI CIC, you should be able to get this. Designated Learning Institutions list. If you were to go and scroll down on this list, you will be able to choose by way of province. And once you choose the province, you will be able to see the list of colleges that are designated learning institutions. So when choosing your program, please make sure that your college is a designated learning institution. If it is not, you will not get any benefit of having studied. Not only that, you may not even be approved for your study permit application, and all the money that you would pay up, well, that could pretty much go down the drain. So be very, very careful where you choose to study. That's the first and foremost. Second, more important criteria is that, do you see this section in the end which says offers PGWP eligible programs? For all colleges where it says no, it basically means that these colleges are not eligible for a postgraduate work permit. What that means is that after you have completed a period of study, which is 8 months or longer, you may be eligible to apply for a postgraduate work permit. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So if you even study more than once in Canada, you don't get postgraduate work permit every single time. You get it only once. So therefore, this criteria becomes very, very important. Choose the program which has a yes. So for example, if I type Sheridan College, and that's the institution number, in Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville, all of these say yes, which basically means that if you were to study in this college, if you were to complete your program in this particular college, your program is eligible for a postgraduate work permit. Even if I choose Conestoga, again, as you see, Conestoga College also, all of these are yes, 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 yes. All of these are yes, which basically means all these campuses that Conestoga has are eligible. Not only that, obviously McMaster, University of Waterloo. And this is how you will choose rather your program. Okay, extremely important. Now, if you choose a program which is a DLI but does not have a postgraduate work permit, then what are your options? Your options are that you obviously complete your study in Canada and then continue and study in another college after you've completed here and then go on there, or leave the studies midway in whatever you are studying and choose for a college which will allow you to get a postgraduate work permit. I mean, since we are discussing, this video is all about the pathway, and having a postgraduate work permit is such an important part of that pathway, and I will show you that in a bit. Therefore, choosing the right kind of college, choosing the right kind of program is also extremely important. So once you have chosen the right kind of college, right kind of program, let's say you get approved, you come to Canada, keep in mind that your spouse may also be eligible to apply for an open work permit. Your children, if they are a school-going age, they are also entitled, or rather may be eligible to attend a private, or sorry, not private, to attend a public school in Canada free of cost. For who does this pathway become important? If your CRS scores are low, and if you have exhausted all options for improving your CRS score, then this becomes a good pathway. Why does it become a good pathway? This is a comprehensive ranking system score. Please, look on the CIC website for this. You will always be able to find it. Now, in this CRS grid point, you will be able to very quickly see that you get points for obviously foreign work experience. You will get for Canadian work experience. These are the skills transferability point. Okay, these are very, very important. These do not show up. This will only be visible to you in your grid point. If you were to see, with Canadian work experience and a post-secondary degree, you get additional 50 points. Okay, with Canadian work experience and foreign work experience, you can get another 50 points. Collectively, you can get a maximum of 100 points for skills transferability alone. So if you haven't maxed that section out, there are additional points to be had there. Not only that, and very, very important is that for your post-secondary education in Canada, you can get a maximum of 30 points. Now, how do you get 30 points? You get 15 points for 1 year of program, 1 year or 2 year of diploma program. If you were to complete in Canada through a DLI, you will get 15 additional CRS points. If you were to complete a master's degree or a 3-year program, then you get 30 points for your Canadian education. These are additional CRS scores. Not only that, let me also show you what you get for your work experience. I'm sorry, I'm quickly scrolling down now. If you are married and you have a spouse added in your application, for 1 year of Canadian work experience, you get 35 points. If you are applying as a single, or if you're a single and your spouse is not accompanying you in your application, you can get 40 additional CRS points in your application. Again, for a single, it's 46 for 2 years, 56 for 3 years, and so on and so forth. These additional points can be significant for you, again, if you are lacking those, CRS scores. I know that there are a lot of people out there who are looking to buy job offers. That is illegal. Okay. Plus, you fall into the scam and trap of all these people who are trying to sell you these LMIAs, etc. Please do not fall into that trap. Please do not spend and waste that money. Instead, do this. Instead of paying those guys and falling into the trap of something which is illegal, invest that money on yourself, right? That is so much more important now, because that money would be spent on you. You would now have Canadian education, you would have Canadian work experience, which would pretty much put you on the pathway towards your PRR aspirations, and also will give you that very important Canadian work experience so that you can now embark on your professional career or professional journey as well. So that has a bit of a dual benefit there. So do not fall into the trap of all those scamsters out there, but do this option. Now, I already told you about the CRS scores and how that can get improved. More importantly, Pnp programs, and as I said, there are almost 100 immigration programs now. A lot of Pnp programs, rather most of them, will give you additional advantage if you have been studying in their province, if you have been working in their province, if you have been living in their province. If you are able to achieve these factors, that will also give you additional benefit. I mean, as it is, we know that there are not many PNP options available for people who are outside Canada. If you're an outlander, if you're outside Canada, you have no connections to Canada in any which ways, the options are very, very limited. If you are in Canada, if you have studied in Canada, if you have worked in Canada, then there are several options that open up, the doors open up, because the preference is for people who are already inside Canada. If you're looking to study, my recommendation is always to choose a province where the competition is less. And what do I mean by competition is less? Ontario and British Columbia have, I mean, being the fact that they are most desirable, Toronto and Vancouver being their hub cities, most people tend to flock to Ontario and to British Columbia. Choose any province but these provinces, and therefore what you will see is cost of education will be cheaper, getting admission will be cheaper, getting a job will be easier. The PNP programs, you will realize, have a much better prospect. British Columbia program is a point-based system. Ontario, point-based system. Saskatchewan also point-based, but for people who have studied, worked in the province, most of the provinces will have a program which may not be point-based, which may simply be that if you are eligible, you probably have a job offer, and the job offer does not need an LMIA. If there is an employer in that particular province, the employer is eligible, they may do a job offer. You've been studying, you've been living in the province, you have few months of work experience. Prince Edward Island is quite I think has the best criteria in such matters. Nova Scotia is the best criteria in such matters. New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, they all have very good criteria in such matters. You will find that you will have a good option to walk your way to your permanent residence and your objective or Canadian goal, if you want to call it. So studying in Canada is one. Choosing where you study is also very important. These are the two factors. Now, let's say you are now studying in Canada. All right. Let's say you chose Ontario. Now, what do you do? Once you are studying in Canada, you are allowed to work for 20 hours per week off campus. But this work experience that you have while you are studying in Canada does not give you any benefit in terms of any immigration program. So work experience you gain while you're studying in Canada does not count towards any points. In most cases, it does not give you any advantage. Okay, and let's say you have chosen 1 year of program. 1 year of program will give you 1 year of work permit, or rather even 8 months of program may give you 1 year of work permit. Keep in mind, 8 months of program may not necessarily give you 1 year of work permit. It can give you less also, because visa officer is not obliged to give you 1 year. Because it's only a 1 year work permit and you may not have enough points with only your Canadian education. In such scenario, now you would desperately need your Canadian work experience. Keep in mind, you get only 1 year of work. You get only 1 year of work permit, and that cannot be extended. Your work permit cannot be extended. Now, after completing your education, you need to complete your 1 year of work period. After you've completed your 1 year of work period, then you will be getting your updates in your Express Entry profile. You will get your ITA. You will submit your application. If you have completed your AOR, then you will be able to apply for your Bridge Open Work Permit, provided your work permit, existing work permit, is still valid. It's a bit of a difficult situation because now you need 1 year of work experience to be able to apply. So after your 1 year of work experience, what are you going to do? You will have to leave Canada. Okay, either you will change your status to becoming a visitor, or you will have to leave Canada and then process your application, even if it is Canadian experience class, from outside Canada. That is the first problem. Second problem is you need a job skill type NOC 0, A or B. Okay, it's extremely important to note that you need a job NOC type skill 0A or B in order to be eligible for most of these programs, most of the immigration programs. Leave aside some PNP programs. Some PNP programs will accept you even with NOC C, for example, Prince Edward Islands under the critical worker stream, or AIPP or RNIP. But we are talking about largely the more streamlined programs, or the ones which are right in your face, especially Express Entry as well. Because only NOC A, B or 0 will be allowed, you may not find the required job immediately. Okay, one of the most common jobs that people look for are the supermarket department supervisors, department managers, or the cashiering supervisors, or in an F&B industry, restaurants, you're looking for the restaurant supervisor, restaurant manager. Those are the knock B level jobs that people usually look for, or rather, I'm talking about the majority or a big portion of people. But you cannot get that job if you haven't really worked in the knock C level. So if you haven't worked as a cashier, you will not be given a job of a cashier, supervisor, or a department manager. So if you haven't started at the entry level, the recommendation is, while you are studying, you can work for 20 hours per week. And if you only are studying 1 year program, and this is a tip which you should absolutely look for, start looking for a job which will eventually lead you to a knock B job. First, you will need to have that work experience, which will cross your entry level position, and then you will get your knock B. So if you've already started doing that while you were a student, getting that knock B position in the same company, same employer, once you get your postgraduate work permit, will be so much more easier. That's the first tip. Second tip is, do not rush to apply for your postgraduate work permit immediately after you have completed your studies. The reason is that you have some time after you've completed your studies to find a job. All right. Once you find a job, and once you're about to start, let's say you're supposed to start your work from tomorrow, apply for your postgraduate work permit the day you're going to start your work. Because what it does is, the day you apply for your postgraduate work permit, you go on an implied status, which basically means that you can immediately start working, and that points will be calculated, or the work experience will be calculated from the day you start working. This is extremely important. Lots and lots of people who consult with me and who I am aware of, they forget that if in a rush or in a hurry to apply their postgraduate work permit, they are giving away very valuable portion of their work permit. And then they realize towards the fag end that they do not have enough period of time to complete their 1 year of work experience. Now, education is wasted, work experience is wasted, and they basically have no benefit of it at all. So because this video is about telling you that you can choose to study and work in Canada as a good pathway for your immigration, and I know this is going to be a long video, but if you follow these tips, you will be on the laughing side of this. On the other side, for a lot of people who need more points than just this, for example, your IELTS scores you're not able to crack. You're not even in 400s CRS. Let's say your score is not 410, 420. You are in 300s, 370, 360, 380, that kind of a score. 1 year program, 1 year of Canadian work experience is not going to cut it for you. Okay, it's probably not going to be enough. What do you do then? In such cases, my recommendation is either study, or rather even complete a master's degree and do a 2 year program. 2 year program will give you 3 years work permit. That's the big factor that gets involved over here. Now, 3 year work permit gives you a lot of allowance. Now you have a total 5 years, 2 years to study, 3 years to complete 3 years for your work permit. It's a 5 year period that you have now. In 5 years period, you can easily figure out what works best for you. Express entry, PNP, which PNP. For example, let's say you've completed your studies, you thought Ontario was going to be for you. So you completed 1 year of your work permit in Ontario. Now you realize it's not working for you. But because you still have 2 more years of work permit left, you can choose to change provinces. Let's say you go to Prince Edward Islands, because you now know that Prince Edward Island has a better program which will give you a better option. So you go to Prince Edward Island, you still have 2 years of work permit. You complete your 6 months of work experience there. In the 7th, 8th month, you get to your employer, ask him for the job offer, because he'll be very happy to give it to you anyways. And boom, you can now go ahead and apply for your PNP through the Prince Edward stream. Same thing in Nova Scotia. Complete your 1 year of work experience in Nova Scotia, get a job offer, apply there. Same thing with RNIPs or AIPPs, Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, same thing. If an employer sees you, if an employer knows you, one of the biggest problems over there is people don't want to stick in those provinces. But if you've been living and working over there, the employers have a better faith, have a better trust. The fact that you are living there, you're working there, means you will stick around. And they will be happy to extend that endorsed job offer to you for your AIPP or for an RNIP, therefore leading to your permanent residence. Now, these are the most important factors that I wanted to discuss with you and tell you that, do you choose 1 year program? Do you choose 2 year programs? 1-year programs will work for people who already have a good CRS scores. Okay, when I'm saying good, I mean in the 400s. All right, you can pretty much work with it. If you are below 400s, your IELTS, you're not able to crack the IELTS CLB 9, even CLB 8 may be a struggle sometimes. Probably look at 2-year program, look at master's degree, or choose to study a 1-year program, but at the same time, simultaneously improve your IELTS scores as well. So collectively, you can figure out what works best for you. And therefore, that will lead to your achieving your goal for permanent residence. I think that's just about it. I think I've covered most of what I wanted to tell you. Whether you apply for express entry, whether you apply through PNP programs, you will be eligible to apply for bridge open work permit once you have submitted your PR application. Once you submit your PR application, you will be able to apply for a bridge open work permit, provided your existing work permit is still valid and is going to expire within the next 4 months. That will mean you can continue to work in Canada, continue your journey, and makes it easier for you. I don't think as of right now, any other country anywhere in the world makes it so easy if you choose to come and study there. Coming to study or getting an approval for your study permit is a different thing altogether. But once you're here, choosing the right pathway or choosing the right right program stream will become very, very important for you, and that is what you should pay that's what you should pay attention to. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. If you wish to discuss one-on-one as to your particular application, your profile, that's the link. Join us, or rather connect with me on this link, book an appointment, and we'll be happy to discuss with you what is going on with your application. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and I shall see you next time, hopefully, and we will do this again.